So you're going to head to Medellin, Colombia. You've taken a couple of flights already in the U.S., one more to MDE. You land, they pull you to the side and pull you in that little back room. I mean, you know what that means. So what's it actually like to get denied entry and return back to the States? Today, we have a special guest that's going to explain exactly what happened to him. Let's jump into it. Follow along.
DC Rob's got the info you need, from the East Coast streets to the Caribbean breeze. Travel smart, stay sharp, that's the creed. Knowledge is power, proceed and succeed.
Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC Born Rob Erasing Borders. I'm DC Rob. Remember, I am on both YouTube and Rumble, so check my videos out on Rumble. I'm going to be uploading quite a few videos that I've done in the past that you probably didn't see to Rumble, so get on over. Again, DC Born Rob, Erasing Borders. Okay, but let's jump into this again. I have a special guest. Today is Jimmy. He's going to explain exactly what happens when you land in MDE and they ask you for an itinerary, and it just goes downhill from there. Let's jump into the interview. Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever it is you're located. Thanks for watching. You're watching DC Born Rob Erasing Borders. I'm DC Rob. Again, I have a special guest with me today. Like I said, you've seen the thumbnail, so you know what this video is about. Somebody got denied. You need to get the details. So welcome to the show, Jimmy. How you doing, Jimmy?
Pretty good, Rob. Thanks for having me. When this happened, I was a little upset, but I was like, you know what? There's no reason to be upset. This is kind of like a learning opportunity for everyone. And I was like, well, who could I call? I could do my own video. I was like, I could call a couple of different people, maybe, try to get an interview. And then I thought of you. I thought Rob would be the perfect person to talk to about this.
Okay, well, I think so too, because I have the best viewers in the world. Thank you. Probably one of them. And remember, I am on Rumble right now for everybody, so you'll see this video on Rumble as well as any additional videos that happen to get spiked on the YouTube side. Again, they treat me like an old girlfriend right now. But anyway, so Jimmy, tell us the story. You're coming from, what part of the country are you coming from in this state?
So I was coming from Los Angeles, flew from LA to Arizona to Miami, and then from Miami into Medellin.
Damn, that's a lot of flights. Okay, so you're getting off the plane. I know the routine. You're getting off the plane. You're coming down the jetway. You're standing in line for sure. You go through the little carousels and you take it from there.
So yeah, actually, they opened up the back door of the plane this time and let people off the back, which was cool. We were able to get right to the front of the line, and we were like one of the first persons. I took my friend with me. We were the first ones, like up near the counter, the front of the line, and there were a couple of officials in the line, picking out people, profiling people in the line and asking for passports and their credentials or their itinerary. And so they flagged me, they flagged the guy I was with, they flagged about 3 Indian guys and 3 black guys while I was there.
Okay. So when you say flag them, they actually pull you out of line before they even check your passport?
They didn't pull us out of line. They came and kind of came to us while we were in line to check the passport and the itinerary. Okay. And once they did that, they just kind of let us go.
When you say let you go, let you back in the line?
Let us continue in the line because we never got out of the line. They just let us continue in the line.
Okay, so they just asked a couple of questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kept on moving. So, well, what type of questions did they ask you?
So while we were in the line, they asked me, okay, where I was staying, show me your check Mig. And that was pretty much it. They didn't ask the other in-depth questions until after I got my passport stamped.
Okay, so you go up, you finally get up, you take your turn, and what happens once he takes your passport?
They take my passport, they look at it again. Another guy comes behind the counter, the same guy that checked us in the line. He comes around, kind of just overseeing, and they're asking questions. Now they're on the computer, kind of looking at the passport history, I imagine. And everything worked out. They saw my check Mig. Check Mig is down right now, by the way. It's acting funny. So if anybody's having problems with that, it's acting funny right now. But I was able to screenshot the confirmation, and then the guy stamped my passport and I continued on.
Okay, so what happens? You get through there. Did you have
Yeah.
bags? Did you check bag?
So I had actually had two, three check bags, and two of them were full of things I was going to give away to this organization in Medellin. I picked up a few pounds, so I had a bunch of clothes and a bunch of shoes school supplies, makeup, perfumes, toiletries, all this stuff I was going to deliver to them. But that was in the by the carousel, by the pickup. But they stopped me before I got there. This one lady just came out of nowhere and just stopped me.
Okay, so before you even got through the doors to where the carousels are, they
Yeah,
stopped you.
yeah.
Okay, so what happened?
So she stopped me and then said, "Hey, what brings you to Colombia?" I go, "I'm here for the flower festival. I want to take some videos. I have a YouTube channel." And she was like, "Well, let me see your YouTube channel." And so I was a little nervous. I get a little jittery. That's just me. So because of the reception, I couldn't pull up the channel right away. So she was like, "Well, let me see your phone." So she took my phone away and she's looking around, and then I gave them the name of my channel, Pathfinder. However, if you pull up Pathfinder, Nissan Pathfinder pops up, right? I'm probably way down on the totem pole. And so to make a long story short, they weren't able to find it. Then she started asking me, about my job, how much money I make, what else do you do? And I start telling her about some of my hobbies and things like that. And I told her I was going to see the car show and the Sililo Parade, I think it's called.
Hmm.
The people that carry the flowers on their back in the parade. And she goes, "Well, do you have an itinerary? Do you know where it's going to be? Do you know the street? Do you know what time it starts?" And I'm like, "Well, no, I was hoping to find all that when I got here." So after that, she goes, "Well, do you know anybody here?" I go, "Yeah, I have a friend down in Guatapé." And I finally found his number. The immigration people were cool. It was this one other lady, she was plain closed. And I was about to go through, and immigration like nodded, "Yeah, that's a Colombian number. Yep." And she goes, well, you say you do this, you say you're a chef, you say you have a YouTube channel." I told her about my job. "You say you're in sales, you say you're here for," none of this is making sense to me. So I'm like, what part of that doesn't she understand? And so she said, "Okay, we're going to go into another room." So they pulled me into the other room.
Okay, so what happened in the room, and how long were you there?
So they got me in the room and they checked all my luggage, and then they got on my cell phone. They checked all my pictures and everything. They went through my cell phone. Um, they, um, they, she got me in there, and she basically told me that she didn't believe that I was there for the flower festival. And she didn't believe that I had a YouTube channel because I wasn't able to pull it up. And she didn't believe that a person can do all these things at once. It didn't make sense to her. So, but the main thing she said was, "And you don't have an itinerary. Everybody else in the line has an itinerary." And I will say this though, the first time I heard about going to Colombia and I did my research, they did require an itinerary, and unfortunately I didn't have it this time. So
I've never
they
had an itinerary before, and I'm going to guess 9 out of 10 guys didn't have a written itinerary, what you're going to do from moment to moment to day. I
right,
mean, who does that?
right.
So they take you back in the room, and then what?
Yeah. So it was about 3 o'clock then, and about 30 minutes later, some guy just came in. One of the guys that works in customs just came in and said, "Hey, by the way, we're going to be sending you back. Your flight is at 11 o'clock tonight." And that's when I just kind of like, I swallowed the fate. I was like, okay, they're sending me back. It is what it is. Um, I didn't ask why. I didn't try to, there was nobody to talk to. So you couldn't really complain because they put you in this room. I was in there from 3 o'clock till like 11:30. But while I was there, they did give me lunch. They gave me some water. American Airlines came in to try to get my flight right. They did misplace my luggage. They couldn't find my luggage until like 5 hours, actually like 7 hours later. They found my luggage, and I told them where to go look. Um, and they had a couple of young ladies come in there. I guess they were kind of like I don't know if you call them, just like they were like security almost, but they worked for the airlines. And so they were just came in to keep me company, I guess, and tell me what was going on. They were really cool. They were really cool. So it was a room that had a couch in it, a couple of small couches, a desk, and there's two rooms with like beds in it. Once I got in there, I was like, they ain't letting me out of here. There's a bed right there. They're keeping me here. And so I stayed there until about 11:30, and then they escorted me up to the departure section of the concourse. I was able to. They let me get some food, and I got my Colombian coffee and my candy right there. That's some of my favorite stuff. So I was able to do that. They didn't really treat me like a criminal, and actually the door was open where I could walk out and approach a customs official if I wanted to, but I wouldn't advise that. So now the other revealing thing is that one of the ladies that came in, she had a piece of paper with the declaration, and I said, "Can I have a copy of that?" And she said, "No." But it was in my passport. I don't know if they were giving that to American Airlines or whatever, but it stated that I deceived or lied to immigration officials when asked about what I was going to be doing in Colombia, in Medellin.
So that was their call to say that they didn't believe what you said you were going to do and what you came for.
Right. And I think the main thing was the first thing she said, why are you nervous? Well, I get a little nervous when stuff like that happens. And I think it's pretty normal. And then she started asking me about all the small details. I didn't know all the details. So she was like, well, why aren't you prepared? You should know where the street is. You should know what city it's in. I'm like, and I really couldn't respond to it the way she wanted me to. So I think she had made up her mind as soon as she pulled me out of line. I don't know.
Okay, so were they actually waiting with you at the gate?
Um, no, they once I ate, I got a little burger at that burger spot right there. I was able to go to the counter by myself. They had the attendant there. She was looking at me the whole time, and I actually gave her a little something on the side because she was really cool. And I ordered some food. I sat down, and she was like, "Come over here and sit down." I sat down with her. I ate. Then they walked me over. She walked me over to the gate. We cut in line, and I was like the first person on the plane.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got all the way back to Miami. What happened when you landed back in the States?
So when I went through Miami through customs, I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I'm home. They pulled out this little orange card and filled it out. I don't know if you've seen that before. You may have not. They only fill that out for people who need to be questioned or searched further, right? It's like a referral to the internal customs people. So he filled that out. Then he said, go into that door. Went in that door, went to the desk. Then they had an officer come get me out of the office. Now in this room, they have all these counters like 1 through 8. And if it's something simple, I guess you just walk up there, they check your passports, you're going, boom, 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 you're out. They have a little waiting area. But they took me into like a hallway and sat me down for about half an hour, asked me all these questions about, I had to give them all my electronics. They went through all of my luggage. And then the guy had me wait back in the lobby. I waited there for about 3 hours, maybe 2.5 to 3 hours in Miami, Customs, Border Patrol. And he came back and said, we got just a little bit longer. I'm still waiting on the techie guys to give me information on your phone. Oh, okay. I skipped about something very important. So I asked the customs guy, I go, why am I here? He goes, well, they had in the report you may have dealings in drug trafficking. That's what Colombia told the Border Patrol, and which was a joke to me. And So he told me all of that, and he had me. I had to tell him everything. Where have you been? Da 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 da. And so that was why they came in and they searched everything. And finally, after they took me down to a secondary waiting area where I waited another 10 to 15 minutes, and then they gave me my phone back because they didn't delete any of my videos, did they? He says, no, we didn't do that. And then I got on a plane back to Los Angeles.
Man, hell of a story. So ultimately, at the end, I mean, what's your advice to others? I mean, you're here telling the story to my audience. I mean, what do you want them to take away from this? How can they benefit from it, if at all?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, like I said earlier, the first time I went to Medellin, when I was like studying you, I actually had your guy, one of his employees, pick me up from the airport.
So they were there waiting for you, Andres?
Andre, yeah. So he had a girl. Her name was Alejandra, I think her name was.
Yeah, Alejandra. Yeah.
So she picked me up from the airport. So I got advice from you. I think the thing to do is people can listen to your advice because you have current news. A lot of people don't watch the news and they really don't know what's going on. And so YouTube is a good way to get it real quick. Have an itinerary. Like I said before, that was like one of the things that I was advised to do the first time I went to Medellin was to, excuse me, was to have an itinerary ready and have it on in an envelope on pieces of paper so you could do it really fast. Especially if you're somebody with bad nerves like me, you could just pull it out. Okay, that's my hotel. That's where I'm going. This is the address of, the park I'm going to. I'm going to Comuna 13. Have all that stuff, written down on paper so they can see that you planned your stay and you're not just there, just kind of winging it.
Okay, so what I'm taking away from this, guys and gals who are going to come behind Jimmy, is have an itinerary written out. I've never done it before, but I will now. After hearing this story, even though how silly that sounds, like even if someone was going to do something nefarious, they could still have an itinerary that didn't include the nefarious part. I don't get that.
Right.
But that's a hell of a story. So ultimately, what happened with the tickets? I mean, you paid to go there. They paid to send you back. You lost the money?
They told me, American Airlines told me they were going to give me a free ticket back. So I still had my return ticket to LA valid. But when I got back to the airport, they used my valid, or they canceled my valid ticket and just gave me a one-way to Miami. So when I got to Miami, I went to the supervisor and they were able to get me back to LA. So I didn't lose any money on the hotel.
But you paid for the
airfare. What was that?
You lost the cost of the airfare there?
I lost the cost of the airfare.
Oh, really? That's round trip because it's a wasted trip.
Yeah.
So you paid for round trip, like 3 different legs. You said you went from LA to Phoenix?
From LA to Arizona to Miami. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. 3 flights.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I ever want to get to Medellin in 3 flights, but
you know what? I gotta tell you, I wasn't angry at all. So the other thing is, I was with my buddy. They let him through. So
what happened to him? So he's there now.
He's there now. He's never been to Medellin before. He's there by himself. They pulled him aside and asked him questions too, but they didn't take him all the way into the room they took me into.
Did they know you were together?
They did. They knew we were together. In fact,
so if they were saying you were involved in something, why wouldn't they stop him too?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What she kept saying, well, he's been there for the first time. They knew that I had been there before. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But the first thing she said to me when I ran into her, she was like, why are you nervous? So I think that was probably something that triggered her, because I have a little nervous twitch at times, especially when I'm, being scrutinized like that. And then she started asking me about my YouTube channel. I couldn't pull it up. And then she would cut me off and ask me other questions and cut me off, and basically just decided that I was lying to her. So that was her reason to go. She had to go see a supervisor. At one point, there were like 5 people in the room, kind of like looking over me. I'm like, I'm definitely going back to Miami tonight.
Were they all speaking English to you, including this lady?
No, just this one plainclothes lady. She was translating to immigration. And there was another guy that came in that had talked to Theo, my friend Theo, and they were having a conversation. And he goes, I remember him saying, "Oh yeah, he's already in," and then that's pretty much all they said. And they kind of just left out. They went to see a supervisor. They never came back. Just another representative, just as, this guy in a uniform. All right, Mr. Hicks, you're going to be going on the next flight back to Miami, and it's at 11:30. It actually flew out at like 12:37. So
it's a hell of a 24-hour transport, man.
Yeah,
I travel
man,
for a living. That's a rough one right there.
Yeah.
And being denied on your ultimate plans, that's a bit much.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate you coming on and sharing and reaching out to me. You want to give your YouTube channel a shout out?
Yeah, I'm at Pathfinder Eating on Earth. I don't have the actual handle up. I'm not that tech savvy yet to just put it up right away. But
send it to me. I'll make sure it's in the description of this video.
Yeah, definitely. And so, yeah, Rob, I appreciate that. Again, guys, just be prepared. Just have everything written down. Make copies of everything, your hotel, everything you're doing, and that way, that's going to get you through. Because they're out there, they're screening big time. I've never seen that many officials out there screening people.
Well, you just went during the flower fair, which is probably tied with Christmas season. So
yeah,
I can imagine what the airport looks like. I mean, there's just too many people going. Too many guys are going, so there's more opportunities for certain things to go left. But I'm glad you're all right. You didn't get harmed. You don't have a story where you were kidnapped, tortured, and all that good stuff like I had before. So this is one that hopefully someone else can get some benefit out of and can learn from it. Is there anything else you wanted to leave the viewers with before you jump out?
No, just plan ahead. That's all I can say. Just plan ahead.
There you go. Jimmy says, plan ahead. I'll be planning ahead. I have 5 trips planned out. Now I will say this. I don't know if this would have sufficed, but I use TripIt for all my trip plans. So it would have said landing this flight here, this flight to there, this hotel, from this hotel to this Airbnb, from this Airbnb to that. You can't, on CheckMig, you can only put one location where you're going to stay. Well, I don't stay at one place. I move around every 2 or 3 days. So, but I have that itinerary there. And it links to the actual paperwork or website or whatever if they wanted to confirm it. But I would assume that would suffice, because that's all I got. I'm not going to write up where I'm going because, hell, I don't know. I don't know where
exactly.
I'm going to walk around. I'm going to, how do I know what parade, what?
Right.
I mean, if you're going for the flower fair, you should have, I guess, okay, this parade is going to start at this time, and, maybe outline something on that piece of paper that at least says, I'm going to this, that's it here, or outline, yeah, that's right, I want to go to this. But to write it all down with the dates and times of the parades, your whole goal in transport is just to get there safely and then worry about that, all that other stuff. Anyway, I'll go off on a tangent. Anyway, but again, I appreciate it, Jimmy. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Hopefully some viewers will get some benefit out of this.
I appreciate it, Rob. Have a good day.
Okay. All right. You too, man. Okay. Bye.
Yo, it's DC Rob, giving you the lowdown from Colombia to Cuba. I got the know-how, travel tips and tricks to keep you sound. Stay safe abroad, let's break it down. DC Rob's got the info you need, from the East Coast streets to the Caribbean breeze. Travel smart, stay sharp, that's the creed. Knowledge is power, proceed and succeed. Colombia's first, Medellin's the vibe. Know the zone, stay safe, take the right strides. Cali for the salsa, cart the Hennessy. Stay alert, stay aware, move wisely and free. Jamaica, Kingston's got the reggae beat. Montego Bay for chillin', but stay on your feet. Respect the locals, know the culture's way. With DC Rob's tips, you'll be okay. DC Rob's got the info you need. From the East Coast streets to the Caribbean breeze. Travel smart, stay sharp, that's the creed. Knowledge is power, proceed and succeed. Mexico's next, Cancun's the spot. Mexico City's bustling, but know the hot spots. Pyramids and beaches, culture so rich. Stay in the loop, avoid the glitch. Dominican Republic, Punta Cana's fine. Santo Domingo's lively, but watch the line. Puerto Rico, San Juan's old charm. With DC Rob's guide, avoid the harm. Cuba's unique, Havana's old streets. Know the history where the past meets. Travel smart, stay ahead of the game. DC Rob's got your back, remember the name. DC Rob's got the info you need. From the East Coast streets to the Caribbean breeze. Travel smart, stay sharp, that's the creed. Knowledge is power, proceed and succeed. Panama, see the canal's grand sight. Casco Vigo's history, day and night. Venezuela's beautiful, but tread with care. Stay aware, stay smart, everywhere. Ecuador's wonders, Quito's high place.